Yo, you're dealing with KCYP 97.7 The City and KTAI 91.1 The One. Feel?
Hello, this is RGV Rocks, and I am Scarlett Rose, bringing you to the new season of 2022. This is our newest episode and the first one of the year. So I'm super glad to have you on the show. To people that don't know who we are, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to local talent events and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Today I have the one and only Eric, also known as Loverboy. Now, how you doing?
So far, I've been doing great, and hopefully it continues, staying that way. So, how about yourself?
How's your 2022 been? I'm still getting used to saying that. Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm surprised myself. Now I got to get used to writing down on paper. So far, it's been kind of been bumpy, but it's okay. It's okay. It will get better. For sure.
What did you guys do for Christmas? Did you have any Christmas plans or
Yeah, we celebrated with the family and it was great because this was the second year that I got my family everything
wow.
bought them. Yeah.
So it's
I actually got a job and everything, and now I'm able to afford to buy my family stuff.
That's so cool. It always feels nice when you get to do that for the family. And I was like, oh my gosh, I finally get to do I finally get to wrap my own presents. I can give them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels really nice doing that. I was gonna say, so it's your first time here on the station for KTAI 91.1 The One, as well as KCYP 97.7 The Seven. Is this your first interview ever?
Officially, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes. So how are you feeling about doing an interview for the first time?
To be honest, I'm kind of nervous. I was kind of nervous before, but I'm like, nah, I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the confidence of it. You got it. I would like to start off by saying, do you have any events or any projects that you're currently working on before we start the show that you want to?
Yes, I'm actually gonna do my first show ever at the White Rhino on January 8th.
Hey,
yeah,
it's coming up. Actually, it's the second, right? A couple of days.
Yeah.
So when does it start?
Well, for me, might say so far, because it might change. So far, I might perform around 11:35. That's what they told me.
So that way, everybody in the audience will be okay, we're gonna go to set. We're gonna go sit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of people. So everybody's gonna get 15 minutes. So I'm performing for 15 minutes, but I have a lot of short songs. So I'm gonna be able to perform 7 songs.
Wow, I was that's such a short set time because usually it's 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's fine with me because and they even told me if you have short songs, even better because you can make it seem like a whole concert. Yeah, that's true. So a lot of my songs are 2 minutes. So.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so it's your first time being here at RGV Rocks. I want to start this interview by saying, what is your favorite part about the Valley?
Well, just a bunch of seeing so much different people who actually have the same passion and just seeing how humble the locals are, it's just crazy because I didn't know that there's so much people here that are doing music until when I started doing it. I met a bunch of people that I'm wow, damn, these guys are better than me.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes because it's I've noticed a lot of people that are currently going into the music industry, especially that they're new, and everybody's whoa, I didn't know there were so many people here before, and we always freak out because they're it's such a huge cultural thing in the Valley, and I've noticed that because usually when people think about the Valley, it's oh, there's nothing to do here, oh, there's nothing, and then now it's growing, and the fact that there's been a music entertainment industry for a long time, but the thing is people didn't notice it until now, and I think that's really cool
because mainly all the attention was in Houston and other more up north, so it's yeah. Now they're regaining some time to shine, so that's what's up.
So tell me more about what you want to what are you a singer, are you a musician, what do you consider yourself to be?
Just a magician, just an artist in general, just because I like to do anything. Just I don't want to be just labeled as oh, I'm just a rapper. I try to experiment at times, and sometimes even though I might not be the best at it, but I still try to like make my own beats or try to like, mix myself, like when it comes to my vocals, try to do like a lot of things. Even though it might not come out like perfect, but I'm trying to do and try to do different styles, like with my sound, and just so it just won't be like, he's just a typical artist. You get me? Like, he's just because I would get that a lot at school when I was in school. I would always get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like before they even knew who I was, they'd be like, you're a SoundCloud rapper. You know that term? Like, you're a SoundCloud rapper. Well, at first, like I wouldn't even post my songs on SoundCloud. I would just be on YouTube. Now I'm barely starting to put everything on my on Spotify and all that. Like I'm just doing that recently.
And when did you first start doing music?
Well, writing wise, I started writing music when I was like when I was actually writing like lyrics and stuff. I was like that was like in middle school, like 7th grade. But actually recording with a microphone and stuff was like in sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. And how are you? How old are you now?
I'm 19.
Oh, wow. So you're barely getting out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. I'm 20, by the way. So I can get the age difference there. But what's it called? So when it came to like producing and like getting into music, how hard was it for you to do? Like how hard was it for you to produce music at such like a young age? When did you get into that?
Man, well, because like again, like in that time I wasn't really like I was trying, but I mainly had like my main homie, his name's Castro, and he's the one who mainly engineers my stuff to this day. Like he knows what I want, like
Wow.
just like if I want this effect, like like I have like a certain term and stuff. It's like use this effect, and like I got you, so that's how long he's been doing it for. Yeah. Even like we always try to improvise too. Like even it was just like even when it was just like a whack software, we would still try to like wing it and try to let's try to make this good. We always try to do.
I get you. So have you used like GarageBand or more complicated things like FL?
Like now we're using FL and stuff, but before when we first started using the software, we used like Audacity.
Oh my gosh. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my
and then the microphone we use now, it's like I got myself a microphone. I got the, what is that, like AV12? That's the one that Taylor Swift uses.
Wow.
It's that, I don't know that microphone's name. I just got that recently. But we got like a PreSonus. I don't know how like the name. It's like a better microphone, but before we used to use like a Yeti. Yeti microphone.
The blue,
yeah. Huh?
The blue Yeti ones? Or
yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Oh my god.
And we didn't have no stance or nothing. We used like a stool to like pick it up.
I mean, like you have to think about it. Like from the ground up, that's usually what everybody does. It's like, okay, well, we have to work with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we have speakers, and now that's awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask, so what mainly influenced your type of music? Like what genre do you see yourself doing, or what genre do you like perceive yourself as?
Because like when I was like coming up, like raising, I was raised around like a lot of pop. I listened to a lot of Michael Jackson and stuff like that. But now as I got older, I was listening more like hip hop. So now my main like influence, right, like basically it's just like I consider myself more like melodic rap.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I like to switch it up. It's just depending on my mood. That's why I don't really want to be like I'm just this type. Sometimes I like to like go hardcore, and then sometimes I go lyrical, and then I just go like kind of singing in a way.
That's interesting because like usually I've known some of like the rap community within the Valley, and they go hard. Like they go hard with the beats. It's also trap, but like there's some other people, like there's some other rappers too that like that kind of lyricism. So I'm really surprised that it's kind of building up slowly.
Yeah, like the versatile, like being versatile, right? Like being versatile. That's what my main goal was. Yeah.
The other question was, I had a question about this like a while back. How did you come up with like the name Loverboy?
Loverboy I got that from my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got that from my mom, but it's not because like it was just out of nowhere. It's because growing up and stuff, I was always like, one of those like, oh mom, I like this girl.
Oh
or
my
like, oh, I'm
god.
dating this, or like, oh, I think she's cute. Like, you know, I was always one of those that was always constant, you know, with the females, trying trying to get with females and stuff. So I was just like, you know, trying. And I have two older brothers, right?
Mhm.
And the middle one, he was one of those that like, and like he's not really interested in like doing that. He's just like to himself, you know, doing his own thing. And every time we would hang out with families, like my grandparents or my great grandparents, they will ask like, oh, and has he got a girlfriend yet? Like asking like
Oh
my
my
little brother,
god,
right?
yeah.
And it'd be like, nah, like nobody, like no, he doesn't. Esther, he's the lover boy. He'll point point at me, right? So
That's
I'd be
funny.
like, I wouldn't think nothing of it, right? But in that time, I was just like thinking of a name, so it was a coincidence. So I was just like, what is something that people call me often, or you know, been calling me? And that popped out of my head. I'm like, hey, I like that. Hey, I'm gonna switch it. Hey, I'm gonna call myself that. Okay, and I just stuck with it ever since.
I like the way that you did on your name because like the way you put it was like a little heart in Loverboy. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, that's a genius.
That's how I wanted to like officially, but I just have it as just like a 3
Yeah.
because like Spotify and stuff doesn't let me, you know, do it like that. So I have it like that on Instagram because I like it like that. That's how it was supposed to be. You know?
No, what's it called? I like you utilizing that because like usually when it comes to well specific names like artist names stuff like that, you always have like the X or like what was it, the 0 for the O. So I'm like the fact that you use that as a symbol, I was like, dang.
Mm.
You know how like Baby No Money has like a little dollar sign? I was like,
I kind of got that idea like for the 3 and stuff because some people ask me like, oh, like why do you use a 3? Why did you put a 3 in your name? And sometimes I don't like it because they'd be like lover 3 boy. I'm like, that doesn't make no sense.
oh my
Like, why are you
gosh.
saying it like that? Like, it's just lover boy. The reason why I put it like that, I got that idea from Scarlord. You know who Scarlord is?
No.
No, Scarlord. Well,
No.
he's an artist that like he's like a screamo like rapper like.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And what he does is that instead of putting O's, he replaces the O's with an X, and that's his
Okay,
name. It's
I get you.
Scarlord. Yeah. So in every single and like he puts his name like that in every name like song title uh he does it like that. Every O is an X. So I'm like, hey, that's not a that's a good idea too. So that's what I do. So every time like my song, I have a new song that has like an E in it, I change it to a 3, even in my titles and everything. Like do it for everything.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole entire time that you wanted to start your music career, when since you are a young musician or an artist, how when did you start thinking that it was gonna start getting serious?
Because I always had a passion for it, but I think when I first dropped, I dropped a whole mixtape, but it was bad. But when I dropped my song Zone, that's when I started liking it more because that's when I got a whole bunch of buzz from it. Because before Zone, uh, I dropped like a mixtape called like The Book of Thoughts, right? And I choose to forget about it because it was just awful, right? And I was just like, you know what? I was just like, it's just part of the phase I'm going through. You know, people in high school, there's always a few. Then once I dropped Zone, then like the next following year, first week of junior year, that's when everybody's like, Eric, I heard your song. I heard that's fire, that's hard. And I got like a bunch of like a bunch of attention. And that's my hit song. And that's a hit, that's a song that even to this day that people love. Like that's like the most liked
Okay.
one.
Is it your favorite
Yeah,
song or is it like another one that's your favorite?
another one I like
Is
most.
it?
Yeah. But it's one of those that like I it's the first one I show everybody.
Yeah.
Someone that's new to it, like you're new to my song, I show you Zone.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody loves now.
I was
And
gonna
that's my
ask,
hit.
going into because when you started this thing, you said that you were kind of like hated a little bit or like kind of mocked a little bit because of the fact that you were a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
How did you feel during that time that people were like calling you that?
Man, I kind of just kind of like sucked it up a little bit. I just like, like whatever, it's gonna happen. Because even when I was starting to get good, like, cause yeah, I admit it, like I was bad at that time, but like when I started again after Zone, I was doing some good stuff and I got a lot of good feedback. Like it got me thinking, like, and it would tell me, Eric, you got it, bro. Like you actually do got it. Like I'm being honest. Like from all the people I heard, you're the best one I've heard. Like, you know, they will hype me up that bad. Like, and then I would look back at it just like wow, like nah, forget it. Like forget these other people. These, you know, this is the what I'm mainly focusing on. And there's grown-ups and stuff that like tell me the same thing. So I'm just like, for them to say that or get this much feedback, I must be doing something right. So I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm gonna do me. Like I'm gonna do me. Yeah, just continue doing it.
And how did you meet your producer? Were you friends before, or did you recently meet them?
Oh no, I've been friends with them since middle school. The same time.
Hey.
Yes, that's how we became friends.
So you've what's it called?
Castro
So
and
the homie produces the music. I see.
that's right. Like I said, it was him and my other homie Jeffrey, but he goes by the name Salcella, right?
Mhm.
And again, my homie Castro produces for me and him and his own music, you know?
Oh wow, so it's like a whole
That's-
trio thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Salcella does like Spanish and stuff. So like it's like a whole different mix. So like we all don't do the same thing. So it's awesome. And that's how we just kind of just bonded by that throughout the years, because I met Salcella first because I even told him, because we were talking about it. We were just talking about music out of nowhere because he was new to the school at that time. And I was just like, you know what? Like, hey, yo, we're just talking about like Eminem and stuff. I don't know why.
Hey.
Talking about Eminem. Because we all were big fans of Eminem at that time. So that's what connected us. And then afterwards, I'm just like, you know what? I felt like writing a song. And I told him, hey, yo, man, you want to be in a song with me? He's like, yeah. Like, you know, middle schoolers, you know? He was like, yeah. And we would just be discussing it every morning. And then we made a group chat. We're just talking to each other. And then he's the one who brought in Castro. It was like, hey, yo, man, I have another homie that does it. You want him to join? I'm like, well, I don't know. It's up to you. And then that's when we made a group chat. And then the rest is history. We just got
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, since you've been writing since middle school, how has that process been for you? Like writing, like lyrically wise, has it been always hard for you, or how does that work?
To be honest, like I like just looking back at it, yes, I improved hella. Even staying on beat and just like knowing the cadence and just like when to stop, just like the structure. Learning the structure, like how to make the song, I already know it. Like I know it way more than how I did before. Before, I would just write a whole page full with just lyrics and then try to find a beat and try to rap over it. Now I know how it works, and now it's easier. But now recently, I'm gonna be honest with you. Recently, I've been having some trouble. I always struggle with writer's block. Now I know how it works, and now it's easier for me. But like recently, like these past few months, I've been struggling with a lot of writer's block. So it's been harder for me to write like new songs. But yes, compared to how it was before, way better. Way better.
Going back to the performance that's coming up at January 8th at the White Rhino.
Yeah.
Is it your first time performing, or have you performed before?
It's my first time.
Oh my gosh, are you excited about that?
Of course. My whole family's going, and even friends. Like it's crazy. Even people at work are gonna go. Like it's fun. It's like glad to see their support.
What's your set list for that day, actually?
Set list? Like my track?
Yeah.
I got you. The songs I'm gonna be performing is the concert. The first song is gonna be Feeling Good. Second is Better Now. Third is The Living Proof. Fourth is gonna be Focus. The fifth track is gonna be Destiny.
Wow.
Sixth, what?
Because like this. Okay, continue.
Destiny. And then the sixth is gonna be Get a Grip, and 7 is Zone. Saving the best song for last.
Hey. You mentioned that you have other favorites within the tracks that you produce. Which one's your favorite, or what are some
all the
of
songs I'm gonna perform?
All
Those
of
are
them?
all my favorite. Those are all my
Dang.
favorite.
That's cool. What's it called? Sorry. I have to like catch my breath for a second because like I have like hiccups. So like, oh no, I don't want to ruin this interview. Um, the last question of our interview, I want to ask what advice do you have for people that want to go into like either rap or just be musicians or artists?
It's basically just do them and not really care about what other people had to say, because there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that are not going to like your stuff, either because they're jealous or they just don't want to, they just want to see you fail. And the reason why is because that's another thing I was going to say, is that as an upcomer, you're going to get judged by every little thing. And that's true. By your name or even little lyrics or something that you do, they're going to judge it. Even though like, and the reason why I say that is because from my personal experience, people judge me by like little lyrics I say at times. For example, one like my song "Living Proof," that was a big hit, right? But in the same time, it got like a lot of like love and hate, a little bit of hate, but mainly because of one line. Because one of the lines I said is because I said, "I be solving mysteries like I am Scooby Doo," right?
Yeah.
I refer to Scooby Doo, but the thing is, because of what my person like, what my method of writing is, because I like to write, what reflects me. And me personally, I'm a big fan of cartoons. I like watching Chowder, Fosters of like Imaginary Friends, all those old school cartoons, Scooby Doo, all that, Looney Tunes. And so I like to put that like in my music. And have you heard of Ski Mask?
Yes.
Yes, he does that a lot. You get me? He does that a lot. So I do this like, I do little metaphors and stuff about like stuff like that. And then people be like, I don't like that line. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that line's corny. I'm like, okay, it's understandable, but like it's me. That's who I am. That's like, that's who I am. And again, it goes back to you're gonna get judged by any little thing, because like one of the reasons is because Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is one of the biggest rappers out there right now. I think one of the songs she did with 6ix9ine, she said, "Light up like a lamp," as like a punchline. You get me?
Yeah, I get you.
Light up like a lamp and slurp me up like it's pasta. If an upcomer said that, it'll be on his neck, or her neck, right?
Mhm.
But again, since it's Nicki, no one says. So I'm just saying, it just do, don't really care about what anybody says. Just continue working on your craft and just, just meet as many connections as you can, and just make a lot of friendships. Because I know I met a lot of friendships with a lot of locals, and it was just like a great experience. Just seeing meeting all of them and just keep improving on your craft. Because
Okay.
like the long run, it's gonna reflect you.
I was gonna say,
It's gonna be the best
the
one.
question. I remember the question. The last question before we leave. You mentioned that you are in the works of more songs up in the way. Do you have an upcoming album that you want to tease?
To be honest, no.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Nah. Nah. I don't have any. I'm just trying to write songs. Well, I had an idea of one called which I was planning to call Desire, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold it. Just kind of push that back a little bit. Just
So it's a
see what I
maybe.
make like so far.
It's a maybe or maybe
Yeah.
not title track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just still like in the works real quick. It's still like rough. Rough. Because right now I'm still trying to promote Earworm, which is like an EP I released a couple months back, and New Era, which is like my first mixtape, like second mixtape I made, like boom.
Mhm.
That I've been.
So we are running out of time. I was gonna say, do you want to do any shout outs before you leave?
Shout out to my mama. I'm asking. No, okay. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
Any social media or what's it called, music that you want to shout out really quick?
Well, follow my Instagram, which is Loverboy_official. Well, just basically my Instagram, and just like follow my social media, like my Spotify, my all the streaming platforms, and just hope to support your boy. Hope
Okay.
support your boy.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on RGV Rocks. It was a huge pleasure to meet you, Eric. And
Thank you.
if anybody wants to check us out or learn more about what we do on our show, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for this interview. It was amazing. I want to remind everyone that thank you for listening to our humble little show, and be here next time on RGV Rocks. See ya. Let me see.